Dean, what's your thoughts on the game and how it all played out?
Amazing start. I thought we were tremendous in that first 5 minutes, and I think we got them into the bonus probably 2 minutes or something like that, and just the attack that we had really dialed in. I thought Luke was a part of that. He really aggressive and attacking the paint. But there's just a team that just never quits. We had them down heavy, and they made plays and get it back to a 6-point game, and it just felt like that all throughout the game. It felt like we were making some really good runs, and then they were just good enough to keep making plays and keep coming back at you. But we steadied. Great job from Shilly on Harvey tonight. It was a big one. Solid job on Clark, and Robinson's the guy that kind of really steps up, and Frols has been really solid the whole series. But there was a will and a desire from us tonight, and Delhi really drove that over this series. And again, made mention to the guys that shoot around today that we just put your hard hat on, win loose balls, and we were much better in the rebound stakes tonight. And I thought we come up with a lot of those 50-50s, just like the last free throw miss that Delhi comes up and gives us that extra possession. We go ahead and score 100 points again. I thought we had a chance to keep them in the 80s tonight, but we didn't quite get it done. But credit to Tatum and their coaching staff. I guess I want to congratulate Davo Hickey on the series that he had, and having him as a great young man in our program, and then to see 2 years later that he's a starter on a semi-final team is absolute credit to him and the trust that the coaching staff put in him as well.
Was the 50-50 balls the hustle? Is that how you counted giving up 38 free throws or whatever it was? Because most times in a playoff game, you do that, you're not that successful.
Foul discipline was certainly something that we wanted to be good at tonight, and throughout the series, we were solid, in moments. And I see just got caught on a couple tonight, and they gave them extra, and they didn't shoot their free throws well either. So it was certainly I'm sure they're looking at that to say we left some points out there at the foul line. Our offensive rebounding was something that really added to us tonight. But then on the flip side, anytime we turned it over, we got punished heavily tonight, and their run-outs was something that really got them back in the game at different times.
Yeah, you've spoken about Delhi throughout the series, but after tonight's game, what's it like having someone like him who can not only help carry this team from a production standpoint, but also emotionally be a leader out there?
Oh, amazing. It's, when he came back to us this time, and we knew his body was even better than last time we saw him, and, coming off an NBA season, and he talked to me, and it's like, I'm going to be so much better than last time you came here, that I played at United, and he has lived up to that, demanding some switches and mismatches right now, and just sees people in front of him, and finds a way to go ahead and get to the rim and make great decisions. But his leadership through this series, his desire, he did it both with actions and with words. So credit to him.
Daly, I think your importance to this team. What do you think it does to the rest of the group when you're jumping through an LED to try and save the ball?
I think we've all seen Shilly make plays like that all the time, and I know when I see him do stuff like that, it picks me up and makes me want to go harder. So hopefully it's the same. But we had a lot of guys doing that tonight. Joe had some big O boards. I think LT at the start just came out super aggressive, and that's what we want from him. There was a lot of plays tonight.
Dean mentioned your aggression in this series, hunting mismatches and getting your head on the rim and getting to that hook shot. Did you come into this series wanting to be more aggressive offensively, or is it just something that you saw as the series went on?
I think in the preseason, body was feeling great. Had a few niggles during the year. Kind of worked my way back. The physios and weight staff, medical staff here has done an awesome job. And then, having a couple-week break, I'm feeling pretty good.
Delly, were there any moments during this game where the playing group felt the pressure of the moment, or are you guys so experienced in terms of the veterans you have in this group that you this is what you relish more so than feeling that pressure?
Yeah, I mean, there's always pressure, but it's an opportunity, and you want to play in these games. This is why you play the game, and you got to give Illawarra credit. We were up early, and they just had no quit, and they kept coming back, and they just kept playing, and happy for Davo for how he's established himself in the league, and seeing him come from a DP 2 years ago to what he's did in this series is unreal. So you got to give them credit for 2 OT games and then working their way back in the game when multiple times we felt like we had them on the ropes, but we just couldn't break them.
And Dean, imagine you putting a roster together with so much veteran experience this season was exactly for these sorts of moments, so you could lean on that experience in those high-pressure moments and know that these guys can come up with those big plays, those 50-50s, and get the job done when they need to.
Yeah, when you talk about pressure in moments, I just thought we've so focused on us a little bit this series, and when we play the right way, we're in good shape. And so I thought that period where we turned it over, our offense was just a little sloppy and those kind of things. And so that was the moment to say, hey, if we don't change this, there's a chance they could make a heavy run. But thought we weathered those ones really well, and a part of that was Dell putting his feet in the paint and making good plays, and CG in the second half just really hunting his shot that second half, and played with foul trouble and did a good job. But Shilly tonight, that was pretty special from him to chip in for 22 points and do the job that he did at the other end. It was a pretty special performance.
Delly, what do you guys think you've learned as a group from going through this series and really being tested as you were in 2 overtime games, then kept coming at you tonight? But you got the job done. How does that put you in good stead moving into the grand final series now?
Yeah, I mean, we were tested multiple times, and I think it just keeps coming back to defense. And if we can string stuff together, it allows us to get out, push the ball, and flow into our offense. And when we're active and taking things away, getting deflections, and then finishing with a rebound, that's what we need to do consistently for longer.
Does it set you up well, having such a tough semi-final series going into a grand final series?
Oh, for sure. Tough games at the end of the year. Had that little break, and I thought we just got better, throughout the series, and we're ready for a grand final series after going through that, because we talked about these moments when we captured a little bit of a lead, and could we hold it or push it out a little bit, and that's still an area that we've been challenged with, but that's what semi-final and finals basketball is. It's people are just going to keep coming, and can you sustain it? Can you weather it? Can you continue to execute through that? So we learn a lot. Their coaching staff continue to make good adjustments as well, and I think that's what good series are about. There's minor adjustments, but they can be quite major if you can't fix them straight away. They throw a little play in there for Harvey, and he hits a 3-ball, and they run it again, and it looks scary. And so I think just how quickly you can adjust on the fly to new actions and new things that they put in.
You've got history with Perth and Tassie. Who do you want?
No, we're sitting there watching the game right now, and so yeah, no preference right now at all. They're both really quality teams, and we've won against them both this year, and whoever it's going to be a hell of a series.
Gully, what's it like to have this group back in a grand final? last time you were here fell short last year. They couldn't get there. What's it like to have this club back in the decider?
I mean, that was the goal at the start of the year, try to win a championship. And even yesterday, we were really sharp with a short training session. And I was just thinking this, can't be the last one because we've got a great group. It's really enjoyable to be a part of. And, we want to keep this going for as long as possible.
And you mentioned the physical plays, the 50-50 plays, the things that got you guys going. Is that going to be a trigger for you guys the rest of this grand final series too? Just getting out there early, establishing the contests, the aggression, the sort of those final points?
I think, like the further you go, the more important those 50-50 balls and rebounds are. So, we're going to have to win more of those.
Dean, you're down a lot on Clark and Harvey in particular. Was that the major focus coming in to almost make someone else beat you, although they still have a lot of great players?
Yeah, for sure. We thought in game 2 that we made their shots pretty tough. The 3 balls that Clark made were all crazy heavily contested. He made a couple of those again tonight in an ISO as well. And it was just about, we can't accept that. We can't accept that Harvey makes 8 of 11 runners at the elbow, and so what else can we do? And so, came off a few other people and make sure there was a little bit more help. And they at times put 3 reluctant shooters or 2 reluctant shooters on the floor a little bit, and so how could we leverage that a little bit better to make sure that Harvey and Clark just didn't get as many catches. And I thought, you go probably look at 7 or 8 times, Shea just didn't let Harvey catch the basketball in the game, and that was on multiple efforts as well. And so they played a huge part in it. LT was so much better, in the instruction that we gave him to get to a little bit more denial and make it really hard for Clark.
Just on LT, you've mentioned him a few times. Did he take another step up with how he fits with this group in this game in particular, the way he was getting shots at the ring early, the way he was doing things so seamlessly? Yeah,
I think, one of the Clark's such a talented player that was like, we've got to put some pressure on him at the other end as well. And I thought, LT really established himself in that to a point where we're calling, ISO plays out of timeouts for him to go ahead and attack. And, that's a really big step forward for, and how he finished those plays as well. It's like, you get to that and we're running plays for you, now you finish them. All right, let's run a few more. So, I thought there was a massive step up in that area.
Thank you.
Thanks.